Good morning, afternoon, or evening, ladies and gentlemen, Allincrypto here, and welcome back, guys, for what is going to be another jam-packed daily cryptocurrency market update. I hope you're all as fired up for another day in the markets as I am, and as always, if you are new to this channel and finding yourself on my videos for the first time today, don't forget to check out that subscribe button because we drop an update just like this one around 1 p.m. UK time every single day to help you guys stay up to date with the latest and greatest things happening within the cryptocurrency space, but also the broader markets, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing in this video. There was a lot of angst going into yesterday as we had Nvidia's earnings, and people were worried about this. You know, Nvidia is the sixth largest company in the world in regards to market cap, and it makes up a large part of the S&P. And not only was the US stock market a little bit nervous, and thus the broader stock market as a result of this, actually there was a spillover in regards to the cryptocurrency space, which is really correlated with this kind of risk basket. However, Nvidia's earnings came out better than expected. They beat in line with all the other beats that they've had. And actually, Nvidia's stock popped 12% on the back end of that. We'll look at where it's at pre-market. And then, of course, we're going to be going over to the cryptocurrency space. And we are going to be showing you some really interesting things in regards to where Bitcoin's at and where we think it is going. Guys, our plan is playing out beautifully. If you want to unlock my entire portfolio, do consider becoming a Patreon. Within the last week, are already 100% up on certain altcoins. You'll unlock those. We are playing in the AI sector. We are playing in the deep in sector. And of course, we've got lots of those good layer ones that we think are going to do spectacularly. And we will cover many things on the channel. Of course, you know, we've spoken about a lot of the cryptocurrencies that we hold. But we'll start off by looking at Nvidia. We'll then move on to some charts. We'll look at how our alt season cometh prophecy is playing out. And then we're going to be going over to Paul Grewal, who of course is the Chief Legal Officer over at Coinbase, as they have responded today in regards to the SEC's request for comment on the proposed Grayscale Ethereum Trust ETP, exchange traded product that's ultimately going to move towards an ETF. This is going to be the narrative that is technically going to, or this is going to be the narrative for alt season that we're technically looking at. The technicals will always get you in way before the news, way before the event, and so on and so forth. That's why we always champion them. But without further ado, guys, without me rambling on and jargoning on for too much longer, let's dive into it all. And let's start things off, of course, with deep breath, a soothing of the angst that took place going into yesterday. Of course, we had Nvidia's earnings. Nvidia shares popped 12% in pre-market trade after AI-fueled bumper earnings. We are going to be bringing you some cryptocurrencies that essentially are decentralized versions of Nvidia. Nvidia do GPUs. You've got Sam Altman that came out and said, you know, he needs $7 trillion for GPUs at this point for Sora and other things. There are cryptocurrencies that offer GPUs like Render. We'll talk about them over the coming weeks, and we'll bring you lots of videos on it all. But you can see Nvidia posted a revenue of $22.10 billion for its fiscal fourth quarter, a rise of 265% year over year, while the net income surged 769%. And this is the thing with the bears, right? The bears are hurting. They have got things so catastrophically wrong over the past 2 years. And remember, we were bearish in 2022. We're not opposed to being bearish. We're not perma bulls. We're just bearish when we see reason to be bearish technically, bullish when we see reason to be bullish technically. But the bears, every little thing that they can grasp onto, it's now Jeff Bezos. All Jeff Bezos is selling. Okay, well, I technically think Amazon is going to $260. They think it's going to crash because Jeff Bezos is selling, and based on nothing other than that. Let's see who's right in the long term. Follow, subscribe if you're not already, guys. And a like and a comment is always really appreciated. We're fired up today just because of how well things are going. You can see Nvidia, massive jump here. This is likely going to keep going. There is a bit of a bearish divergence. I did do a longer update on my weekly one-to-ones. But the kind of angst is generally over. And let's take a look at the stock market. I'll go over to my watch list. And you can see the pre-market for the S&P is up. Remember, the S&P made our target. It's come back and it's supporting on here. What is this? Tesla could be about to turn around at some point, just in time for Cathie Wood to sell all of it. She is a bad trader, let me tell you. She might have a good idea of technology and things like that, but she sucks as far as a trader is concerned, just like her dumping all of Coinbase. So yeah, the kind of S&P is chilling a little bit. The NASDAQ futures is up slightly. Remember, all our targets were made for this. We are projecting higher ground. And of course, Amazon, which we're going to relate to Bitcoin in just a second, we think is going to $263 based on technical analysis, not the news flows. Let's, please, Anybody that is skeptical on technical analysis, follow this through. Look at our Amazon prediction. Look at what the bears are saying about it, why they're saying it, and see who wins. News followers or a technical trader like myself. And we will teach you guys as much in regards to technical analysis as possible. We're just very busy with the crypto space. But one thing I want to highlight on Amazon is kind of what Bitcoin's doing today, right? So Bitcoin had this inverse head and shoulders. You break, you come back and get a retest. Actually, Microsoft did the same thing, which was kind of our golden child in 2023, just because of how well it did. Break, it's more applicable on the 3 daily. Break, retest. This is essentially where Bitcoin is today. So even coming back and retesting is perfect for us. We'll just load up on more of the altcoins that we already have. If it goes on higher, great. I don't actually think you're necessarily going to get the retest on Bitcoin. I actually just think it's so strong. I think people are betting for downside. I think the news has been awful. And look at that range consolidation. Look at these wicks as well. People are coming in and bidding this up whilst retail is scared because they're listening to the wrong people. If you're a subscriber and a follower of this channel, you know the plan. You've seen it play out thus far. Let's see if it continues. So yeah, all is good in the hood. Like I say, we do have altcoins that are doing spectacularly. Dollar coming down a little bit today, which is good for risk generally. Interesting how it made that inverse head and shoulders target. And now it's pulled back from there and it's kind of slipping a little bit. Remember, we do have a broader thesis on the dollar that aligns with our broader thesis on where we think Bitcoin's going. I think the dollar's been in a range since 2008 when you officially entered this kind of communistic style monetary regime for another video. And yields down today, debt down also though in the forms of the TLT. How's our alt season prediction going? Well, Bitcoin dominance, we do think is going to roll here. And we don't just have Bitcoin dominance on its own merit and the fact that you've invalidated this uptrending market structure. We've also got the likes of others dominance, which you don't see people highlighting. Well, this is going to get ready to rock and roll, in my opinion, and shoot all the way up to 20%. That's not going to happen in an environment where Bitcoin's not doing well, and altcoins will hopefully do significantly better. And we also spoke about ETH BTC, which has progressed since we looked at it. Put it on a monthly, and we're going to bring the historic volatility in here. You can see this is getting a bid, as we expected it would, based on, this is the RSI. Historic volatility. You can see, low point. There's a number of reasons why we think alt season cometh. We think it's here essentially, and we think we're at the right sort of we're at the right stage of the sort of macro Bitcoin and crypto cycle. So all is well. Lots of altcoins breaking out and doing well on their own merits. HBAR's one that we've got significantly higher targets for. Again, break, come back for the retest, just like we showed you on Amazon and Bitcoin. And look at this. Look, this is getting bid. This is going higher and going to nearly triple in price, in my opinion. These are opportunities you guys can all take, by the way. If you wish to. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. The next thing I want to kind of close on is we did have a tweet yesterday from Paul Grewal, who said, today Coinbase responded to the SEC's request for comment on the proposed Grayscale Ethereum Trust ETP, 27 pages and 96 citations that provide the first legal, second technical, and third economic rationale for approval. We are going to look with altcoin ETFs. It's going to be ETH BTC breaking will likely be accompanied on this news, and we're being technically signaled this. So our letter lays out what anyone knows who's paid even the slightest bit of attention to the subject. ETH is not a security. In fact, before and after the merge, the SEC, the CFTC, and the market have treated ETH not as a security, but as a commodity. Remember, this has wider implications for the broader crypto space. Ethereum's proof of stake has demonstrated strong governance that exhibits robust characteristics across ownership, concentration, consensus, liquidity, and governance, mitigating risk of fraud and manipulation. The economics show that ETH is resilient as BTC in satisfying the commission standard for ETP approval. We remain committed to supporting innovation and fostering a transparent, secure, and inclusive financial ecosystem through continued dialogue and research for informed regulatory decisions in the rapidly evolving crypto landscape. We want to learn more about why we support the New York Stock Exchange ARCRA proposal and encourage the SEC to approve an Ethereum product. You can go ahead and read more. So very interesting. Of course, this is going to have massive ramifications for the crypto space. If Ethereum gets through the door, there's no reason the other cryptos don't. And I think this is a reality that we're moving towards. And I think the markets are signaling this technically. You know, they're looking for upside. That's not going to be a bad narrative that accompanies that. And I do think, you know, you are going to end up with altcoin ETFs and then basket of altcoin ETFs. We've always said this. This is the future that we're moving towards. And actually, I had Brad Garlinghouse saying a similar thing when he was asked about an XRP ETF. We'll be doing another video, another update on XRP, so do stay tuned for that. Guys, that's really all I've got for you. On that note, I'm going to love and leave you. If you've enjoyed the content, like is greatly appreciated. So as a comment, and I will see you all on the next one.